Welcome to another Quantum Conversation. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. Welcome, beloved hearts. We have another interview in this Quantum Conversation Summit Series, Timelines, Creating the Highest Benevolent Outcome. And today we are with Arcturian hybrid Viviane Chauvet, who is here to talk about a new science of consciousness. And this new science of consciousness is actually how we create the highest benevolent outcomes. Viviane, thank you so much for being here. Welcome.
Thank you, Lauren, and everyone. Always a pleasure to be with you and your beautiful community. It is a pleasure to be of service on behalf of my Arcturian delegation and I. We're excited to dive into this topic, especially the science of consciousness and the timelines. We are really in the organic timeline of ascension with the creation of the highest benevolent outcomes. It really ties up with our sacred path to enlightenment, helping us to really open the pathway to reascend and what it means to reascend, and for ourselves, our families, our ancestors, and even the planet herself, Gaia. So I'm really excited to be here.
Thank you. We can already feel the Arcturian energy and the presence of this frequency that you carry, that you help radiate to the world. So we're looking forward to this. Now, eventually, there will be no timelines. Do you see that as a future? I'm kind of going all the way to the end because I want to have you explain how we get there to this notion of no timelines. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's a really powerful observation and question, Lauren. So, of course, right now we're defining timelines to help humanity unwinding from the third dimensional linear time construct. And what does it mean? It means to already releasing our attachments to how we perceive ourselves in time, like my past, my story, I am in the present. The future is unknown, and that can create anxiety or excitement, depending on what spectrum you're in. So right now, think of it as a timeline becomes a point of reference or associate with what we call a time cycle. So each time cycle just talks about the evolution either of a planet within a solar system, within a certain quadrant, and we observing a multitude of time cycles unfolding all at once. Why? That's because, again, we are multidimensional beings, whether it's the Arcturians, the Andromedans, your star brothers and sisters, and that includes the Earth humans. All of us, we all are multidimensional beings. So we're starting to feel more and more that new reality that is sinking in. So this is why when we talk about timeline, it's really helping everyone to have a more understanding, a more comprehensive way of recognizing how evolution process really functions. So to us is really about vibrational movement or dimensional and frequency movement as we're shifting from one time cycle to another. But the timelines serve the purpose so we can have that bigger reference, the point in time, a point of reference, if that makes sense.
Yes, yes. Okay, so I love how you mentioned the vibrational movement. This is important, and we're talking about the new science of consciousness because we're learning that everything is vibration. So what is required to be in a vibrational frequency? And I'll give a little tip. How does the heart come into play here? The heart versus the mind. How are these connected with being in a vibrational frequency that allows us to elevate our consciousness?
The quick answer is everything. That's because, really, it's everything. That's because when you talk about the new science of consciousness, it evolves, absolutely 100% evolves the heart-mind synergy, or what we call the heart-mind interface, we are relearning again to unwind ourselves from the heavy hold that the third dimensional egoic, or what I call the 3D mind, has been through survivals, protections, overcoming fear, or creating mechanism of coping energies, whether it's through trauma, upbringing, whether it's cultural environment or whatever happened as we are kids and moving and expanding. So the third dimensional mind, or the linear mind, people call it ego. We prefer to call it linear mind. It's really been taking on, I would say, the most of your potential and your faculties in order to protect you. So as we understand and recognizing that the mind at the third dimensional level has been serving the purpose to bring you up to where you are, you say now it's time to allowing these faculties to evolve. Again, it's a beautiful expansion and evolution. We never push anything behind or says, I'm going to suppress my third dimensional mind. We're simply allowing, again, that dimensional change. So that brings us back directly from the powerful co-creation of that heart mind interface, that conscious interface, that sacred bridge that the Arcturian speaks a lot of. And this is something that we're going to continuing incorporating more and more in our teachings, and inviting everyone to cultivate that bridge or that conscious interface. It helps the mind to elevate itself to the new higher mental faculties. And it really helps also, even on the brain level, and your brain structures, the networking of all even the neurons works, start to open themselves and release the old blockages or the stacking block, how the brain functions with the subconscious. So there's a whole mechanism behind it. But if you feel the energy just for a moment, just allow gently the welcoming of your heart-mind interface, that beautiful dimensional bridge. Some people like to visualize it as a rainbow bridge or a luminous bridge of conscious energy. It's light consciousness, it's intelligence, the intelligence of the mind connecting with the wisdom and the intelligence of your heart. So it harmonizes your mental field with the intelligence field of your heart together. And this is why we start to co-create a new timeline. This is why we really start to co-create from a place for the highest and the greatest good. It's no longer just the lower me. It's no longer about, I need to have my food, my place, as long as I am okay, like the retraction and what we go through when we grow up as a teenager. It's all about the little me. We're moving out of that third dimensional lower self. We're stepping into a more conscious, intelligent, and balanced being. This is why we start to recognizing how much we are truly multidimensional being of infinite potential and creation. Can you feel the change? Can you feel the transition already moving just by illustrating that beautiful evolution from the heart-mind interface, which leads to that new era of higher consciousness, this new science of the consciousness that we're shifting into.
I love it. Thank you so much. So let's dive a little deeper in the heart-mind interface, because there are some who say, get out of the head completely. This is different what we're talking about, because we're talking about the intelligence of the mind. Can you clarify or define the mind versus the brain, or the higher dimensional? Is it connected to our higher self? Is it the quantum aspect of the mind? Help us understand this aspect, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So you have to look in terms of, look at the human body template. Okay, look at the humanoid form. Your body template is designed as an intelligent ecosystem. That means that on a quantum level, all aspect within the body system is in constant vibrational communication. There's transmission of energies and receptivity of energies. So that means that from a universal perspective, your body, just to talk about your body design, is designed in a way that it will receive waveforms or wavelength of information or transmission from the quantum field, and your body will simply translate those waveforms or those wavelength of information. And so the brain is part of this. The brain is, think of it as the network that is designed to receive that information and will decode it for you. So it will act as a decoder. At the same time, it is your consciousness that will act upon the decoding of that information. So think of it as a huge transmitter that is also a receptor at the same time. And so all the neural pathways communicate in that form of intelligence with each other, transmit codes, and then the brain analyzes it, and there's an electrical and electromagnetic responses at the same time. So the body understands that language and will transmit that to the other internal systems. Now, this is where the subconscious field and the conscious mind take that information, says, okay, we're going to implement that, and that will reshape, helping to reshape your reality, how you perceive yourself, your abilities, what is it you accept, what is it that you are utilizing, but also what is it that you're repressing or holding on or creating blocks or what's called building blocks. And that can be leading to, more limitations or elevations, or it can create different scenarios that plays out in your reality. So it sounds complex, but in reality, when you tap into it, you start to awakening a higher form of intuitive intelligence that you can utilize and send signal to the entire complex brain network, the circuitry that is in complete evolution. And that is completely interconnected with your level of consciousness. Meaning, where are you spiritually and consciously in your life? What state of consciousness are you identifying with? Are you embodying? And that circuitry is responding to this. So this is why we always recommend to create energetic reset. Take the time to reset, take the time to unwind the energy, what you may have absorbed, especially for empathic people or light workers who are very sensitive to fluctuations, whether it's the Schumann resonance on the planet, whether it's galactic or solar changes, the new galactic structure coming in, and the also extraction of all grids energy going on right now in the timeline that we are in to move into the next phase of evolution. So there's a lot of subtleties or very loud, depending on of changes and variation of synergy and energetic changes. So of course, the brain will be sensitive to that, and the rest of your body is also designed to receive it. So part of the science of the new consciousness has something to do with reactivating within ourselves the design of your blueprint or the design of your soul purpose for benevolent outcomes and co-creation. This is what we're here for. We're here to help Gaia return herself to her original celestial design as a garden of life, if you want to call it this way. Imagine Gaia as an abundant, lush, vibrant, and healthy garden that hosts so many diversity of life, whether it's how many diversity of just of trees, plants, birds, insect, and that's also human beings, us in these humanoid forms evolving, and diversity of souls who come to the planet in these forms and also experiment this garden. So it will be like you're traveling far, let's say in Asia or Japan, and you enter one of their most sacred ancient garden. Well, you're becoming one with that new ecosystem that you're experiencing. And that sounds exciting, right? It feels so opening your heart already, like, oh, I would love to visit and beautiful, sacred Japanese garden. But think of it as the same way for Gaia, if that feels the resonance in your heart.
Yes, it really does. Thank you for illustrating that. And so you mentioned that when we tap into that, tap into the intelligence of the mind and the heart connection, how can we begin to tap into it and really feel that? And the body's role in it. We can feel things in our body. Can you explain the mechanics of that? How we tap into it? What's needed?
Absolutely. And that's also training ourselves to be more sensitive to the different languages within the body. So think of it this way. If you every day tune yourself to understand your body needs, your body changes, how your heartbeat, the energy of your internal organs, even the way your chakra system are evolving, you were able to really tune into this, tuning into Gaia and to feel the pulse of change into the earth grids and the ley lines of the body of Gaia becomes much more available to you. And in return, it really trains everyone's senses to expand themselves to be more in tune also with other form of life, like your star brother and sisters, your star families, your cosmic origin, the changes in the solar system. Did you know that each planet or each celestial being of this solar system vibrates in frequency in a very unique way? There's a unique vibrational signature to each of these beings that you call planet. Now, if you're able to attune from your body, understanding your own ecosystem to the ecosystem of Gaia, expanding it on the universal level becomes much more available. And that is part of returning, being more and more benevolent beings that originally the human race was always designed as benevolent beings. The true nature, if you feel for a moment, right even in your gut, in your solar plexus, if you feel it right in your sacral center of creativity, and even in your heart center and your thymus chakra, which is your higher heart, feel that the human race is always designed to be a race of benevolent energies. You are meant to be steward, guardians, advanced being of light, bring into the faculties. And this is what we are here to do, is reawakening that aspect of your consciousness that really opened the way. And there's a little along the way today, I would like to do just a quick exercise to allow the experiential aspect of what we speak of, even though we are already transmitting so many beautiful layers of frequencies to connect with all of you. I'm sure you can already feel the energy that we are exhuming during our presentation together. Yes, I feel the energy too. And holding the sacred space is important. So let's go back to the basics. I need to ask Lauren, how can we do this, right? How can we achieve this? Well, first, just acknowledge from where you are on your journey right here, right now. Just acknowledge the path. Look how far you've come, regardless of what personality traits or considerations or things that you want to change. That's great, because if you have a desire to change, you know that you're very much in sync with the very pulse of the universe, which speaks of constant changes, expansion, and evolution. So recognize through the power of your mind what anchor do you still have in this 3D? What is pulling your heartstrings? That's huge, because the more you're recognizing what is really activating or triggering aspect of your mind that anchor you back or descending your energy back to a lower frequency of fear, lack, scarcity, global changes, lack of resources, or the seems to be of, those are anchor points. So recognize them, number one. Number two, recognize also what is pulling strings on your heart. Or the release of someone, or news on social media, or conflict somewhere in the world, or someone got imprisoned, or an animal, mistreatment, abuse, whatever that is, what is pulling string on your heart? Because I can guarantee you that that is taking most of your energy. So that can create more fatigue, physical discomfort, feeling fuzzy, feeling off path, discouraged, and a form of lists of symptoms that comes with it. This is where it is important to acknowledge where you are and reset. Instead of pulling string on your heart, amplify the field, the magnificent, the power of your light field. Literally, your field is like a pure, beautiful light emanation, rays of light coming from your heart center. Activate also, I open my higher mental faculties, and I am right now consciously in alignment with my heart mind interface, or that sacred bridge of enlightenment. And as I see and heard about situation, I'm going to blast that energy. I'm going to send that powerful co-creative energies to transmute what has been miscreated, to release the distortion, to release the pull of dragging me down into a descended form. Remember, we want to reascend, not to descend. To feel that energy, the movement. So what is pulling down that person, that country, that part of the world, a family member's friend, a neighbor, an animal, a tree? It's honoring all life. And this is something we talk about a lot. The more you honor all life, the more you're able to communicate with other form of consciousness. So let's transmute that energy and say, I'm no longer going to feed through the power of my heart. I'm no longer feeding that particular contracted reality. And I send that transmuting energy. When you do that, you are constantly reactivating, cultivating, and maintaining that sacred heart mind interface of consciousness. So you're really stepping into that, what we call as an umbrella, the new science of consciousness. It's really about recognizing yourself as a very potent, multidimensional co-creator. And those concepts are more than just a spiritual energy that's part of the spiritual awakening or movement. Those are absolutely 100% truth and new knowledge that we are realigning ourselves with. You start to rediscovering your ability, right? What you send a thought very strongly, you think about someone, the energy is transmitted automatically at the speed of thought, and that person receives it. And I can tell you, I have myself experienced the power of true divine compassion to elevate and co-create the highest positive outcome from a place of, I honor that person. I honor that situation, that from that place of divine energy, I have seen miracles unfolding. And even on a very personal level, on the global level, and on a planetary level, it is phenomenal. We are pure energy in action. Everything emanates energy from you, everything. Even when you sit on a cafe in a terrace, or when you, whatever you do, you are constantly emanating energy. And this is who we are. This is really much who we are. Can you feel that, Lauren?
Yes, and it actually is so liberating because as you were sharing the frequencies of what pulls on our heartstrings, what pulls on our mind, I was thinking about that. And I'm sure everyone watching and listening was looking back, and it's the world. It's the third dimension. It's our fear that keeps us there. And so to liberate ourselves from that really is to release it, as we said. and to be very aware of what we are radiating. And so that could be a tall order for some with trauma, the subconscious mind that already has the imprints of our feelings that actually have created our reality. Does that at some point begin to be released as we're radiating a new frequency out? We are changing the impressions on the subconscious mind as well. To some, that might seem like just a pipe dream or woo woo theory, but we actually are shifting our frequency by overriding third dimensional vibrations that are just part of the old, part of our memories. So liberating ourselves. Wow. Talk more on this.
Yes, we do. Let's dive even further. Let's talk about the third dimensional aspect of itself. What if I were to tell you that a third dimensional reality is like a conscious being, and that being wants to stay valid, wants to be validated, wants to stay alive, so to speak, and feel the energy of the attachments of multiple beings who really abide by that third dimensional reality. The good news behind it is, again, it is to the power of your heart with the higher mental faculties, that sacred interface of the new science of consciousness, that we can dialogue, we can really send a signal, a thought form, an intention through the third dimensional reality and says, I thank you, and I send you so much gratitude for allowing so many souls for generations and thousands of years to evolve, learn, expand from this unique experience that you provide. I'm releasing you so that you can evolve and allow myself to evolve alongside with you. So it's almost like you are addressing like you were a dear friend, an old friend. So the third dimensional consciousness is an energy. So think about this energy instead of wanting to repress it, suppress it, fight it, and go against it. Just invite that energy to evolve. That's one thing that the great builders of light and the guardians have really taught me over the years is that everything within the creation field or the one holographic projection of the prime creator, everything is allowed to evolve, change, and expand. So let's approach the third dimensional field or the third dimensional, you know, matrix reality in the same fashion that we're allowing that matrix to evolve as you're allowing yourself to move up into a higher dimensional experience. You're simply shifting into a higher dimensional frequency. It's a vibrational change rather than a destination. We talk about moving from third dimensional density into fifth dimensional frequency. There's nothing to fear. It's a very natural, organic process. Just like you're allowing your children to grow, nobody can force the children to remain in the kindergarten or first grade because you think it's cute and you want to keep them small. They will now naturally and organically grow, become a teenager for better or worse, and then become beautiful adults. And you see them blossoming into new beings. Well, it's the same thing with the third dimensional reality. And I bet that many people have never thought about it this way. And that shift the level of releasing resistance to acceptance and to open up, just like you would, again, allow your children and grandchildren to grow and become their own. So it is the same phenomenon. That's one thing. Then the other aspect to really step into that more conscious co-creation, it's releasing the autopilot of the mind. So you can also invite your mind to says, we're going to co-create now in synergy with each other, as opposed to I rely on my mind as a false safety zone. So again, we are redefining certain semantics. And we talked about this before in terms of the evolving linguistic field of Gaia and into the human language. It's releasing the energy around safety, protection, and feeling also loved and nourished. And a lot of people, because of their history or the ancestral burden and the genetic predisposition, they have relied heavily on their third dimensional logic mind to provide that for them. So you're shifting that frame of reference, which called releasing the autopilot of the mind, which helps to create more space, releasing grief, releasing, resentment, releasing all these heavy energies that take so much space within yourself, within even your mind and your brain, space in terms of energy consumption in the body. So you're releasing, you're opening the field to liberate these denser energies. And that is also to reawakening more and more your intuitive guidance system. You start to reopening the field. So you're getting more light, your transmission get clearer, your receptivity get also clearer, more acute, and how much light comes to you. We talk about releasing program and limitations and old wounds. Here's the good news about this. Because Gaia is shifting faster than we realize, we have been given an opportunity, even on a universal level, to transmute these old wounds or unfinished program, unresolved emotions, stories, attachments, vows, soul contract at a much faster pace that is no longer required to go deep into the trenches of the past and to feel the history, to hone the emotion in order to understand the root source of it. At the stage of where we are, this new era of the new consciousness, this more enlightened, present consciousness, we can say at this point of time, I am ready to truly release, transmute, and reconcile any aspect of my past soul history in this time frame, meaning your lifetime, in any time frame, on the ancestral genetic level, to my solar akashic level, on the universal level, and I'm really ready to embrace only the wisdom and the extraction of the key points of the knowledge, allowing me to move forward with more grace, centeredness, and alignment. And there's no need to repeat word for word. I'm just giving you the energy behind it. This is part of the new science of consciousness. There's no longer a need to go so deep and hours on into understanding what is it that create those wounds. Just feel, I identify through my subconscious archive the root source, the multitude of root source, and I am sending him love. I am complete with you, and I am releasing you back to the universe, back to the quantum field to be transmuted into higher octaves of light. I am releasing all of you. You also releasing the shadow aspect and the energy of those who may be interconnected with those root source. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes perfect sense. And that was almost like an activation, listening to you speak as we integrated that information. And it really is, it felt to me like it's a choice. We
Yes,
show up very consciously right now, and it's simply a choice. If we don't feel right, if we can feel that something's pulling on us, let it go. That sounds easier said than done,
for sure.
but I can see that it really is a surrender to the higher frequencies. And so we really need to trust in this. There's no room for doubt. I hope that can you take us on maybe a 5 or 10 minute or a frequency experiential to integrate these, to awaken that intuitive field, to transmute these programs? You kind of already did that, but I know you've got something that is beautiful to share with us. Let's
Yes,
do.
we do. Thank you so much for being so attuned with us as always. Lauren, this is why I love our time together, is we do have prepared a short and yet very potent and effective, just quick exercise to really even more settle in into the activation that has been shared with you so far, the transmission of new light frequencies, even held by the masters of light that the Arcturians are, and of course in the presence of all of your beloved higher self and your I am presence. So we're going to invite you on a very short journey to really experience it at a whole different level. And we want to help you activating even more the true aspect of your multidimensional self, how much you are endless, infinite, pure potential in action beings. And there's so much just the fractal of light that is in this body. And just embrace the personality that you are taking on that allows you to navigate through this earthly journey with Gaia, for Gaia, and with each other. So let's do that together right away. And if you would please, all together, thank you for closing your eyes. Just for a moment, we're going to take several deep cleansing breaths. Cleansing breath means to opening the field of your lungs. Welcome new oxygen to flow. Let your muscle breathe. Let all of your internal organs of your body to also breathe with you, releasing toxic energies that may be stored or simply hold in place. So let's just feel and enjoy the fluid movement of your breath. Beautiful. And can you feel already a change? Feeling calmer, more present, feeling more centered, and even feeling your feet connecting better to the sacred grids of Gaia, becoming in oneness with Gaia. And that means to be in oneness on a planetary level. Remember, you are cosmic beings, and even on a human level, being in synergy with Gaia and what serve your highest and greatest good. To feel secure, to feel safe, to feel empowered, to remember how much you are truly a sovereign being. This is part of the great reawakening, even on a cellular level. So let's just breathe into it. Beautiful. And as you keep breathing deeply and slowly, we invite you now to connect to your consciousness. Feel this sacred higher mental and heart interface, this vibrational conscious bridge, or this rainbow bridge that connects your heart center to your mind. And your mind is also the mental field. So it is beyond the labels, it is beyond identification. It's just simply allowing more and more the natural mastery of your mind to connect to the mastery of your heart. Remember, it is natural in you. It has nothing to do with lower belief systems or human 3D personality traits. It transcends all of it. So feel and welcome this interface. And it is through this interface that we invite you to project an aspect of your consciousness in a time frame, choosing to connect to one of your multidimensional soul aspects. For example, if you choose to connect to the timeline of Lemuria, just feel and send a connection or the intention that you wish to remember what it felt like to be a Lemurian. Or what role did you play? What sole purpose did you have in this timeline? What knowledge and abilities did you have as a Lemurian or as an Atlantean? You can choose any ancient timelines and connect with a multidimensional aspect of yourself, who you were in that timeline. What role did you play? What sacred divine blueprint did you bring that was perfect for that timeline? And allow all your senses, your presence, the opening of the sacred universal gateway of consciousness to truly experience what it would feel like, even if you have to imagine it or visualize it, allowing the full experience to unfold. And remember to breathe deeper and slower. Just feel that aspect of you in time and space in that particular timeline, whether it's ancient Egypt, ancient Greece, the time of the Mayans. Let your heart guide the way and let the faculties of your mind to pinpoint of that particular timeline. I wish to reconnect to my Lemurian roots, for example. Just feel that. Remember, you are a multidimensional being. That aspect of you still exists and vibrates with you. You're only extracting the positive outcomes of that particular timeline in that soul expression. What greater knowledge, lessons, abilities, what understanding will you be extracting? This is the intention behind it. Remember, there's no need to go back to past wounds. It's already done. It's already experienced, learned, and the wisdom is extracted. It is time now to reawaken this other aspect of you, to bring just the perfect necessary gifts and remembrance that serves your highest and greatest good in this lifetime, helping to enhance and activate further your actual divine blueprint, your sacred soul purpose in the here and now. Beautiful. Can you feel your sacred heart and mind interface very active, opening the luminous rainbow bridge for your reascension, integrating gently all the positive learning, wisdom, helping to reawaken even further your natural gifts, your abilities, and what make your heart truly sing, what makes your heart bring joy and sacred purpose. Beautiful. We're going to continue to bring the energy and only what you desire to visualize. And right now, we're going to align your subconscious with your soul for what you truly desire to see manifested more in this lifetime on the planet, in the organic timeline of ascension with Gaia, and for all sentient life forms, always in the highest and the greatest good. Beautiful. Just to feel the clearing also on the brain level, clearing the right and the left hemispheres, opening the pathway that also helps to opening up your natural faculties. And very gently say, thank you. I show so much gratitude for this aspect of myself in this particular timeline that I chose today. And I bring with me all the positive energies, the activation that I need the most, so I can continue to be of service to the light in the joyful energy of my divine design and my soul purpose. So let's just gently bring all of your energy and your consciousness back to you, back to your body, returning to the gate, the gateway of your heart, and gently reintegrate fully with grace, presence. Let's take a deep breath in and release. Beautiful. And now in 3, 2, and 1, you're welcome to open your eyes and feel that you have fully returned all of your energy, fully returned in complete consciousness. You can repeat that and choose to extract any abilities, lessons, understanding of yourself from any timeline. And remember, only extract that which serve your highest and greatest good. Especially for Atlantis, there's no need to go back to the catalyst and all of it. It is done. It is done. Even the Atlantean and Lemurians are moving forward in the new timeline. So let's bring and co-create truly the most benevolent outcomes for you, your family, your loved ones, your ancestors, your neighbors, your communities, and for everything on this planet, and especially with Gaia. Let's bring now the intention that we are anchoring every day the highest benevolent outcomes that serves everyone and even beyond and beyond.
Wow, thank you so much for this. That was extraordinary because finally, after much work, many decades, there was for me personally, there was a releasing of my guilt, shame, responsibility for the fall of Lemuria. And so this is huge because it's always been there as something, but I feel completely free from that. Not only free from that, but this energetic vibrational shift upwards is illuminating. It's so beautiful. And I am ready now, and I hope everyone who went through this beautiful process is ready now to bring forward those beautiful frequencies of what we were. I can feel so expanded. I can feel the multidimensionality of us. I can feel the timelines of everything. I can feel those gifts that we were. And there's an extreme confidence to that. There's no more caring about what other people think about that, which is huge because that program, caring what people think, is so deep in many of us, but it's literally in this moment, not there. My whole body is, I've got God bumps because this frequency, wow, it's a frequency. This is that vibrational shift. Wow. Oh,
Perfect. Perfectly in alignment also with the sacredness and the essence of this beautiful summit. And you can feel how everything really ties in together. Everything really comes together. This beautiful tapestry that we're in, the shifting takes on a whole different meaning. And yet it becomes so much more accessible, it's much more palpable, and it can be easily integrating in every aspect of life. So we are truly transmuting together the synergy of the experience on the third dimensional level, and we are transmuting and ascending, which is a form of evolution, to that co-creation. And I don't know about you, Lauren, and everyone watching, I am ready now to be fully in alignment with my divine co-creative faculties. And I am eager with joy and as a huge hunger to my heart to be every day in complete synergy with everything on the planet. Even when I walk in my yard and talk to a tree or see a bird or look at through my cat's eyes, looking at me as a living being taking this form. And it's really about hugely transmuting any lower descended realities. This is no longer where we are. This is no longer where we're heading. We are truly shifting very quickly. And 2024 and 2025 are two very powerful back-to-back cosmic gateways. So we are implementing the work now because it already coexists in the field. Remember that everything already coexists. So you can already align yourself with a synergy, whether it's an ancient timeline, whether it's considered a future timeline, it's all coexisting in the now, and everything become accessible to you. That's the good news.
Oh, okay. This is wonderful. Thank you. I have a question, but before I ask that question, one of my last questions, I want to have you talk on these great changes, these cosmic gateways in 2024 and 2025. Can you expand on that just a quick moment?
Quickly, indeed. So when we enter the timeline or the calendar year of 2024, again, it's just a way of, point of reference here. So when we enter this gateway of 2024, right away my galactic delegation said, you finally enter the era that you've been preparing for. And I know that right now, 2024, very quickly, it's about the extraction of a lot of old grids. We're transmuting all these grids. We are inviting the higher benevolent outcomes. We are coaching the third dimensional field to shift into higher purpose, so we can really release ourselves, release the role of that third dimensional field, so we can simply move naturally into higher dimensional experiences. This is part of co-creating with the universe or being in sync with the quantum field. So in reality, we are truly manifesting a new era that has been already coexisting for thousands of years. So there's a set natural realignment that is taking place. And the cosmic gateway of 2025, it's really going to be the acceleration energies of what we have already prepared and what we are doing in 2024. So look at the synchronicity in your life if you're pushed to make changes, if you're pushed to change, transform, modify aspect. There's a lot of movement, lots of purification going on. There's no need to suffer from the purging anymore. I'm going to repeat that again. There's no need to suffer from purging anymore. You can purge, you can release, and ask, let's tone down the energy behind it. I choose to go through this change and this purging with more grace and more divine ease. There's no need to suffer anymore. And I'm making it very clear throughout the planet for all beings. So let's release ourselves and releasing other life forms from that false paradigm. We are naturally shifting, and that's part of the great changes. And there's going to be more, Lauren, and that's the exciting news.
It feels so wonderful. It really does. My heart is lifted and elated. And this is the frequency that we hold and we anchor in, as you said earlier. And so this is powerful for light workers not to be distracted from this, to stay firmly on this path. And we can tell it gets easier to shift upwards in this frequency, knowing that we don't have to suffer from the purging anymore. We can
Oh,
be in that resonance between the heart and the mind, in that rainbow bridge, and feel it and trust in it. That is so powerful. And I'm feeling the blue ray Arcturians right now supporting us and offering this wisdom to everyone here. All right. Thank you for that. A question that I have is on the Arcturians. Did the Arcturians in their evolution, did they ever drop this far in consciousness? Why do I feel like I'm crying when I speak that? Or is it this earth plane of humans that chose to do this?
It is a really big one, Lauren, and we feel you and we want to hold your heart right now. We understand this is why we're so active and we have been assigned to this quadrant thousands of years ago with the understanding of what took place. Never before at a level of descendant, a planet has gone so deep, which is a counterbalance. There's so much light energy, assistance, old souls who have returned to the planet, masters who have accepted to step down into a lower frequency to be physically here or to be in proximity of the earth and really helping. So rest assured, heal your heart. That will never happen again. The earth is returning into her celestial self. We are here to supporting you as a future aspect of the potential that you're reaching. And there will be more generations to come. We've already seen an aspect of the future timeline for humanity and the earth humans. And there's a lot of movement coming. There's a lot of changes. Knows that as far as the dark light polarity has gone, the counter response of the light is even stronger. So remember that in this reality, as you are right now, as far as the dark light has gone, which they have, what's one thing that they can never stop or underestimate is the counter response in the light. So you are shifting these cosmic gateway that we spoke of and will well beyond 2025. You are now going to experience the counter response in the light. That's the shift. That's where the balance and the neutrality, the divine neutrality comes into place. We have gone through our own history, our own evolution, but we understand that here it's been, let's just say, above and beyond. And we're here to create even more above and beyond in the co-creation of the light. This is why you have so much support. And the Earth Gaia, it's so much held in the light. And there's a lot of assistance on so many levels, known and unknown. So heal your heart to this. You've learned, you understood. It is done. And so many other beings other than humans have also understood what it is like to utilizing other forms. It is time to reconnect to the Supreme Prime Creator and the reascended. This is why we call this the reascended process, because we've already ascended before. You've already done it. You're descended, now you're reascending again. See the difference? It's a reascendant. And the souls who are not quite ready to reach that point of reascension will simply be held into another reality where they'll be allowed to evolve. So rest assured that no souls is left behind. Everybody, so to speak, every soul will receive what they need the most, which is also the co-creation and the most benevolent outcomes.
Thank you for that beautiful message and the vibrational feeling that was emanated through it. Okay. And thank you, Arcturians, for this space holding and this guidance, the vibrational guidance that is always offered to our planet. We are so grateful. All right. Wow. All right. This has been a beautiful experience today. And in just a few days, we will be in Mount Shasta, where there's a live stream event. So people can join us in the Lemuria Awakening event. Viviane will be there speaking, and we invite all those watching and listening to join us. The link is here on this webpage. And also, Viviane is hosting a couple of webinars that are coming up, and we invite everyone to join us. Viviane, share with us on this webinar. One is live and one is recorded for listeners to partake in at any time. What's going to happen in these?
Well, if you already feel the frequency, the presence of these beautiful beings that includes my Arcturian avatar self, if you already benefit for so much wisdom, activation, experience, we're going to go into more. We're going to work further with your pineal gland, the cosmology of this ancient light energy, the faculties that it brings in, the recognition, even on a DNA level. And I know there's a lot of work that's been done on DNA, but that's another aspect of that is constantly evolving. So the cultivation of these frequencies going to be a beautiful continuation of what we have initiated together today. We're going to do that into 2 hours, so to speak, a beautiful workshop together on Zoom webinar, and going deep into the activations and understanding where are you with this and the ancient faculties, what your pineal gland is about, the alchemical response to it, even to the evolving body template, and moving forward also the connections with our galactic origins. So it's going to be a beautiful, really empowering workshop coming up, and that one is on Friday, August 2nd, starting at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And of course the blueprint, the second one, which is already recorded, but you can go back to it. The beauty of our recording and everything that we do, especially if you watch our monthly meditation series, whenever you go back to it, it is still very vibrant in the presence. It is done in a way that it is constantly emanating the frequency that needs to be. So our recordings are always evolving. Why? Because there's no space and time. We recording, or we are creating our event in a more organic holographic field. So when you go back to the experience, you're receiving more, you're discovering subtleties of messages, different level of frequency that are coming in. So the evolving human cosmic blueprint, it's going to be really much in sync with what we have explored today together, and these evolving timeline, the benevolent outcomes, the activations, we talk about the multidimensional selves. So just to feel that if you're curious about all the changes has occurred on the planet, especially since the great solar eclipse that took place in April of 2024, but that energy continued to really helping us to evolve. So the solar gamma rays, it's part of that evolution process, and really brings the next level of expansion that we want to be in. Our body wants to come back into more luminous self rather than be carbon-based, heavy, third-dimensional energies. Now we want to bring that sacred body mind connections and opening the field. So it's the pineal gland workshop, which is going to be live on August 2nd, and the previously recorded evolving human cosmic blueprint are very much in synergy with each other. You'll know, you'll feel it. We invite you to discover and really be part of that continuation of what we have started together today.
So beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All of your events are very high vibrational. And as you mentioned, they do evolve with us in a spiral evolution of giving us what we need each time we tap into those recordings. It's such a quantum miracle how that happens. And we thank you for that. We thank you for your work. We thank you for supporting the planet in this way at this time. You are on your mission. Your motivation is to assist all of us to step into our mission and our purpose and our light and our love for this planet. We are doing it. And I want to thank you for your incredible work. And I want to thank everyone watching and listening, because you are part of this too. And your love matters so much. I think we're all beginning to truly understand the power of that. And so as we all create the highest benevolent timelines and outcomes, we have this, and we do it with love. And as we learned today, it's this integration of the mind and the heart together as that rainbow bridge of information. Viviane, thank you for this. I want to remind everyone, scroll down on this webpage, sign up for those webinars. You're going to get the immediate link to join. And if you need help with this, there's a 2-payment plan so that you can take advantage of this. We want to make it easy for you. And we're really looking forward to seeing you all there and having you join us. Viviane, as always, this is so beautiful. I want to give you a moment for final thoughts, please.
The final thoughts is really trust your light more. Is the word trust is becoming a wonderful gateway of activation. I would say it becomes a gateway of freedom and new possibility. And that's That's a big energy that's being transmuted on the planet. Trust. Again, it's part of the new universal linguistic field of understanding that it is so much more natural, accessible, and palpable than we realize. We are all portal of light, and we are all part of the unbounded, infinite universe in the quantum field. So, in that sense, just remember that you are shifting the energy of trust and you're opening that gateway of pure abundance, possibility, co-creation. It is really palpable with you right now. So just be in alignment with your heart. Worthiness comes from the fact that you are a being of light. Has nothing to do with the teaching of your past or the programming of your parents or your ancestors. Worthiness is implied because you are a being of light. So remember that in your heart.
So beautiful. And I know that your words are spot on, because recently many of us moving through changes that we felt in this accelerated year have been hearing trust. Just that word, trust. I've heard it myself when I was quite doubtful. And so it's really important and it feels wonderful. So thank you. Thank you for being here. And thank you everyone for joining us. Namaste. Thank you for listening to this quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts, as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. This has been a presentation of New Earth One Network, your home for New Earth living. Access information, education, and videos on living from the heart in unity consciousness. Visit newearth1.com.